Alrighty, just a little after 7:20 here on our Friday morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Crazy weather day so far. If you were up at midnight, it was in the 50s to near 60. Now we got snow moving in, and the potential for a flash freeze is imminent in the next half an hour to an hour as temperatures are dropping below freezing. I want to start off with the snow right now. Let's head on over to Power 5 radar right now. And what we're seeing is pretty much snow everywhere. I'm going to zoom on in a little bit here into downtown Cleveland, where we're seeing some steady snow right now. Temperatures are below freezing, and this is kind of that heavy, wet snow that's transitioning over to a finer snow as we speak right now. So traveling along 90 is not going to be fun out there for the next 30 minutes as this batch of snow rolls on through. Same idea if you're heading to the airport. I know a lot of loved ones, you're picking up from the airport or you're about to head on out. Extra time is going to be the name of the game, not only for the snow, but also for that flash freeze potential, because the roads, we've been seeing that shine. We've been seeing some wrecks, some people literally slamming into the guardrail because of the hydroplaning that's been going on. Remember, it's not just the rain. It's also all of that rapid snow melt with the warm temperatures yesterday. Some spots in the snow belt had 10 inches of snow on the ground. Most of that's now gone and melted, but it has to go somewhere onto the roads. So that's going to cause issues out there. And my number one thing is hopefully that you let me know what we're seeing, what you're seeing, where you are. We actually have Mike Holden live right now on News 5 with Traffic Tracker. And I'm going to see on my screen what he's dealing with. He's on the west side right now, and it is snowing, and I'm seeing some stickage in Berea right now on the grass because temperatures are now below freezing. Road conditions right now look wet, but that's a problem because the temperatures are rapidly dropping, and that water on the ground, any untreated standing water, can turn into icy spots. That's what's known as the flash freeze. And it might look kind of innocent when you're driving, but then when you actually hit that ice, that could be a big time problem out there. So that's what it looks like there. I'm also seeing some accidents on 80 westbound as well. So we're starting to see that pick on up, unfortunately. One of our comments here, Randy mentioning, proceed with caution. I think that's the name of the game. As long as you're taking the right precautions, you should be good to go out there this morning. It's a busy travel day, not only for the Christmas holiday, but with work and still for some school, although we have 17 school closings and delays, by the way, which you want to check out on news5cleveland.com for that full list right over there. So that's what it looks like there. I want to show a couple of things right over here. Let's see. Let me pull on back here. These are the temperatures right now. We were at 37 degrees at, what was it, at 6 a.m. Now it's 7:25 and we're down to 30 degrees. You can literally see the temperatures falling in real time. This is why I'm worried about the flash freeze, because they're falling a degree or two a minute, which is crazy. I also have Paula, one of our directors, in my ear right now. So we're going to have a cut-in here for Good Morning America, which we do several times throughout Good Morning America from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I'm about a minute away from that. So you're going to see me cut away, a little bit of a pause. Then I'm going to pretend like I'm on TV, which I'm actually going to be on TV. Then I'm going to come back with you here, talk a little bit more about what we're dealing with right now. And while I do that, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you are seeing where you are out your window. Is it snowing yet? Is it sticking, or is it just melting on the ground? And if it's starting to look a little bit more icy out there as the temperatures are falling, especially on the west side. I mean, take a look at Fremont, Sandusky, 25 degrees. You were 35 just an hour and a half ago. That's a 10-degree drop in 90 minutes, which we don't see very often. And the problem is we still have liquid on the ground, which is going to be quite tricky out there. So let me pull up here some graphics for the weather hit here. So just bear with me just 1 second as I take a closer look right over here. Going to pull this up like this. So I'm about 15 seconds away from the Good Morning America cut-in. You're going to see it here on Facebook. You're going to also see it on TV at the same time. But then when I go away from TV, you're going to see me right here. We're less than 10 seconds away. So here we go. Little moment of silence. Time now, 7:26 on our Friday morning. And now my worry for the flash freeze is really picking up, because take a look at how much colder it is across parts of Northeast Ohio, especially on the west side. I'm talking about Mansfield in particular, where Mansfield was 38 degrees 2 hours ago. We have fallen 14 degrees, and now we're sitting at 24. 30 in downtown Cleveland. Now we're below freezing there. Temperatures continuing to drop. Seeing some snow showers along with that massive temperature drop. Take a look at the snow, literally along the 71 and 77 corridors right now. It's steady snow, and most of it is melting on the roadways for now, but that changes in the next hour or so. So please take extra caution out there. As we take it to the 7-day forecast, what you're going to see is it's cold all evening long, feeling like single digits. All righty. So there you go. That was the cut-in. Now on TV, we're seeing commercials after that cut-in, and we'll see Good Morning America resume in just a minute or two. But right here on Facebook Live, we're going to continue rolling on it here. So again, let me know what you're seeing with the comments. So we got a couple of comments here. So we got Frank Farmer saying snow and wind in Thompson. That is for sure. We're seeing that on the Power 5 radar. Let me pull it up for you real quick as well. Here we go. There it is. It's snowing at a decent clip right now as well. Some of the heavier bands of snow we're seeing are actually in Medina County right now. So travel along 71 north or south is going to be a bit on the tricky side. Through Lafayette, through Bonetta, through Blake, we're seeing steady snow, and that'll be the case for the next 15 to 30 minutes. So the snow, honestly, it's going to be an impact to the morning commute, but we've dealt with snow before. So that's not really my concern. My bigger concern is that flash freeze potential. So let me head back on over here. I'm going to take a little bit of a closer look here with you at what exactly I mean by a flash freeze. So bear with me one moment. There's a lot of different graphics that I have ready for you this morning that we've been kind of talking about over the last couple of days preparing you for this. So bear with me just one moment as I find those out. So here's the deal. Of course, what is a flash freeze? Flash freeze, of course, being the temperature drop very quick in a very short amount of time. Really, the definition is 20 degrees in a few hours. We've done that. We were at 57 degrees at 10:30 last night. Now we're at 30 at what? 6:50 something a.m. So that is a matter of less than 12 hours. And we've fallen almost 30 degrees. My bigger concern is honestly for those who are going to be leaving on the west side in the next hour and a half. So I'm talking more like about 8:30, 9 a.m. If you are in Medina County, if you're in Lorain County, if you're on western side of Cuyahoga County, we're going to unfortunately deal with an issue. Like your car doors are still going to have some of that liquid left over from the rain we just had last night. A little bit of that snow melt. So if your car's outside under those elements, what's going to happen is you're going to walk up to the car door. You're going to you're going to have to yank the car door a couple of times because it's going to be kind of frozen shut. That liquid freezing very quickly, the combination of that rapid temperature drop and those gusts of wind that we've seen about 30 miles an hour this morning, a little bit more than that. Not only the car doors, we're talking about the glass and the wipers too, because that's also going to freeze. Whatever liquid is untreated, any standing water that has not touched salt is freezing as we speak right now on the west side and eventually into the Cleveland metro in the next half hour or so. And honestly, right now, we want to use extra caution on the roads. We've seen a couple of wrecks, including on 80 and 480. If you were watching Good Morning Cleveland, we saw one of those cars literally spin out into the guardrail. So ice is going to be likely, unfortunately. And you know the saying, bridges freeze first? You probably see those signs, including the bridge that takes 90 over the Cuyahoga here in downtown Cleveland with that split in 71. What that means is the wind travels above the bridge and there's air below the bridge. So you have wind on both sides that is super cold and very powerful. That wind, think of it as a blender. Let's say you have a blender at home, right? You have a blender and you're trying to make a smoothie. So you put in all the fruit. But if it's a cheap and slow blender, it's going to take a long time for it to become a smoothie, and you're going to have a lot of these random bits and pieces, so it's not going to be as smooth. If you have a really nice blender at home and it's really on a high power, it's going to blend those fruits up and make a really good fruit smoothie very quick. That's basically what the wind does. The wind and the cold on both sides acts like those blades and get the temperature down very quickly and allows that bridge to freeze faster than other surfaces on the highway. So that's why you got to keep it extra careful out there on the bridges. So here we go. A couple of comments here. Bennett, good morning. Happy Friday. Cold with a lot of O's. I agree with you. It feels ridiculously cold out there now that extra cold front has went through. Let me actually take a look at what the wind chills are right now with you right now. Here we go. Wind chill time. This is insane because at 5 a.m. when I first went on air with Mike and Tessa this morning, you know what the wind chill was in downtown Cleveland? It was 35. Right now, the wind chill, 20. We've fallen 15 degrees in just 2 hours. And hello, out toward Norwalk and Fremont, we're talking about single-digit wind chills, and that is continuing to move in across all of Northeast Ohio this morning. So we're back to the frigid feel, back to the dangerous cold for one day. At least it's one day only. I'll show you that 7-day and the Christmas forecast too. I don't want to forget about that as well. We're just 6 days away from Christmas. I have a big time update on that Christmas forecast you want to stay tuned to. We'll do that in a little bit. But right now, it's all about the cold. It's all about the freezing temperatures and that flash freeze potential. So let's see. Let's go back to a couple of the cameras here actually right now. Let's see, what are we dealing with? This is 80 and 90. So this is basically the split with the turnpike. What are we seeing right now? We're seeing problems. I mean, am I blocking it? I am totally blocking it. Look at this. Once you get past the toll booth, look at the shine. Temperatures are below freezing. This is literally turning into ice right now. These on and off ramps are especially what I'm worried about in addition to the bridges. This does not look good. You can see how the car is taking it slower than usual into the toll booth. Usually I'd see people flying through this bit and then, quickly slow down before approaching the toll booth. But here, you saw how that driver was taking it pretty slowly out there because that road is literally turning into ice right now. Even if there's salt on the road, wherever the salt didn't quite make it, you're literally going to have that tiny icy spot out there. Here's another example. Look at that truck. It's crawling in there into the toll booth. So one good thing to see is that at least people are taking it a little bit slower. Have also a truck on the side of the road. Not sure if it's broken down or anything or if that's pretty typical. So that's what we're looking like there. Let me see if I can pull up a different camera here as well. And this right over here, we have, let's see, what do we have right here? We have, my mouse can move. So right over here, this is 77 at 277. And look at this. I'm actually going to try to zoom in here. Bear with me just one moment. This might take a second. This is live social media for you. I'm going to try to zoom in for you because I want to highlight this. Let's go even farther. Take a look at the car trails. Look at this. This is on the east side. So this is still about 32 degrees, 33 degrees. We have not seen the freeze on the east side of Cleveland yet. That is going to happen in the next half hour. So here on the roads, look at how much water there is. Look at all of that, what the cars are picking up behind with the tires. This is going to be a problem in about an hour when this starts to freeze over. I really hope that this stuff would at least start to dry out, but there just hasn't been enough time. The wind has been fierce, and we've been seeing the temperatures drop like a rock. We've also seen a little bit of snow pushing on through, adding to that water on the ground. This stuff, unfortunately, might be freezing up very soon, so keep that in mind. Let's see. So, yeah, that was one of the questions we just got here. Let me show it. What are the roads like, wet or icy? It all depends on where you are right now. Right now is that pivotal time when we're starting to see the cold crash down. On the west side, it's icy. On the east side, just wet for now. But keep in mind, even though the conditions are just wet, we're seeing lots of puddles. And again, let me walk over here. This used to be snow. So all of the snow over here has melted and pushed onto the road, adding to some big time puddles, adding to some hydroplaning concerns. My drive in on the Shoreway this morning, literally at the East 9th exit, there was this ginormous puddle, and I saw a car in front of me literally go skid a little bit because it hit a puddle that was about 3 or 4 inches deep, and the car's traction lost it for a good 2 or 3 seconds. So either way, please be careful, even if the roads are just plain old wet out there. That's what it looks like here on the east side. I'm going to ask one of our producers here, Gabby, to switch the cameras around for me, if possible, to the west side, because I want to show some of those icy conditions as well. So bear with me one moment while I do that. Let's see. Can you switch cameras to west side? Cool. Let's go back to the current temperatures. Again, we're literally seeing them drop in real time. We just saw them drop another degree in Akron. Now we're down to 33. So not quite freezing yet, but that's going to happen in the next hour to 90 minutes. All of this very bright blue, this is the part that I'm really concerned about. Look at how fast it has moved on in. We were in the 30s to near 40 just a couple of hours ago, and now we're in the 20s. Feels even colder, and we're dealing with a lot of standing water on the ground that is literally freezing on a dime right now. And that's the concerning part. That's why I'm on Facebook Live, because I want to guide you through it as we get through this potential flash freeze that's happening right now. Again, I've been seeing a couple of comments out there. If you're seeing those road conditions being just plain old wet, if you're seeing some snow accumulate, if you're seeing the ice, please let me know in those comments. I haven't seen any comments in the last couple of minutes, but don't be shy. You'll be helping not only me out, but the rest of our News 5 viewers trying to maybe head on out the door or reconsider heading out, maybe calling it a work from home day. We also have a few school closures as well, by the way. So something that we're keeping an eye out on. That full list is on news5cleveland.com. So yes, please let me know what you're seeing. I want to know about it because sometimes the radar can be a little deceptive, might be lying just a little to us. Let me pull up the traffic maps here real quick. We had that accident earlier, looks like on I-80 westbound, but not really seeing anything else at the moment. I'm going to try to actually pop it up here real quick. Let me see if anything else has changed here. Let's see. Still looking decent. A little bit of a slowdown here on 77 in the Bath area, northbound. That's the only new thing I'm seeing right now at the moment. Also, a couple of accident icons here a little bit as well, but doesn't on 77 at 277 doesn't seem to be impacting things too much. So at least that's good to see. Alrighty. Let's see, what else are we dealing with right here? Temperatures, I mean, we just fell another couple of degrees. Literally right now, we're now down to 23 in Mansfield. That is a massive drop. So let me actually update this graphic for you, just so you have a little bit of an idea of what we're talking about. So I'm going to do this with you in real time, the magic of weather graphics. So I'm going to update that number right there. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bam. Look at that. This is insane what has happened over the last few hours. We literally were at 56 degrees yesterday evening. It was 57 at 10:30 p.m. We were just 5 degrees away from a record high here in Cleveland. We were 4 degrees away from a record high in Akron. We were near record warmth for middle of December here in Northeast Ohio yesterday. And look at this tumble that we've had down through the 40s into the 30s. We had that brief plateau around 5 or 6 a.m. where it was about 36, 37. But now we've taken that second dip. That second cold front has passed through. We're seeing those snow showers now. And now this effect is probably going to be seen over the next hour or so with that flash freeze potential. Again, it's not instant. It takes a little bit of time. The wind helps out by helping it freeze a little bit faster. So we're now below freezing, and that's going to cause problems, unfortunately. So that's what it looks like there. Let me, let's see. Let me take another look at the radar, because I think we're starting to clear out on the west side. So I don't want to leave my west side friends hanging. Yeah, so take a look out toward Norwalk and Willard and Scipio. Things are improving big time. We're now just down to flurries. Once we get this batch through, there might be a little bit more scattered snow showers. You can see it near Woodville and the Toledo area right over here. This is not that big of a deal. My bigger concern, again, is that flash freeze potential. So that's what it looks like way to the west. Everything is pushing west to east, pretty much like clockwork, just like our Power 5 forecast has been between Phil and myself over the last week as we've been holding down the fort. Of course, we know Katie is out for now, and Trent has been enjoying an awesome week away, which has been awesome to see. But hey, our Power 5 team keeps trucking along here this morning, and we're continuing to see that snow here in downtown Cleveland. Let me actually see right here. What does it look like in downtown? Let's see. What are we looking like right now? Snow and 30. Look at that. Literally, well, this was all grass earlier this morning. We already have a coating on the grass here outside the Science Center here in downtown. Roads are more or less just plain old wet, but now that the temperature is falling, you can literally see the shine. Look at the shine on the shoreway. If there's any spot that has not been touched by salt, it will be freezing in the next few minutes, and this will cause spinouts on the roads. This will cause big time issues. So just be extra careful out there below the speed limit. I know as someone who likes to drive at the speed limit, you know, sometimes a few miles above, even though we don't advise it, this morning is not a morning to do that. I can guarantee you that. That's what it looks like there in downtown Cleveland. I just got a report on 71. Let me pull up that camera with you one moment while I pull it up. Let's take a closer look at that. So that's 90 at East 22nd. We're seeing the volume picking up. This is where 90 and 77 merge together. And it's pretty typical to see more volume. We're seeing that people are taking a little bit below the speed limit, which is great to see. I'd estimate they're going about 40. Not 50. But roads right now are wet, but they will be freezing up very shortly. Another look here. This is at, let's see, where is this at? This is, bear with me just one moment. This is 71 at Route 82. 71 is also seeing that snow accumulating on the grass. Those colder surfaces have snow now, a quick coating of snow. On the shoulders of the roads, you can also see a little bit of that snow right over there. You see it right there? And then the roads themselves are still wet, but turning icy. Wherever there's no salt, wherever the road is untreated. And it's hard to show on these cameras, but I'm especially worried about the side streets and the sidewalks. Imagine you are taking your kid to school here in the next hour or so, and the sidewalk hasn't been treated. It's literally turning into an ice skating rink right now on the west side. Those sidewalks are really the biggest problem because at least these major highways have had a lot of salt. Some icy spots are possible, but it's really those side streets and the sidewalks that I'm especially worried about that freeze potential. So be extra careful, watch your step. I mean, we always kind of take it for granted. We always walk along. Literally watch your step. Today is the perfect occasion for that mantra there. So that's what that looks like right there. Let's take a little bit of a closer look at those temperatures one more time. Let's see if anything's changed. Yeah. We got a few more people joining the LeBron party. The number 23 is showing up now in Fremont and Sandusky. Whew. This doesn't even factor in the wind, by the way. These are actual temperatures. Akron, there we go, down to freezing. We've fallen almost 10 degrees in 2 hours in Akron. Big drop. And because the drop is so quick and there's still water on the ground, that's why we've been talking about it for the last several days about this flash freeze potential. Is it really going to happen everywhere? No. On the east side, it won't be as intense because the sun is already going to be going up and the temperatures are not quite at freezing. But west siders, that's really my bigger concern there. Let me see if there are any comments from the last few minutes. Let's see. Amanda, thank you so much for tuning in. Love the profile picture, by the way. Windy in Middlefield. It's been windy. Mike Holden has been out in Berea, by the way. Massive tree dropped onto a car, which is really unfortunate to see. But we also had those power outages in Berea. Last night, we had the power outages in Lorain County, where we had almost 2,000 without power. Let's take a look at those gusts, by the way, because they have been about 30, 35 miles an hour over the last few hours. Let's see what they currently are. 30 to 40 miles per hour still. The highest gusts will be along the lakefront all day long, where it could occasionally exceed 40 miles an hour, like it is right now in Menor. 44 mile an hour gusts, 41 miles per hour in Ashtabula, and those gusts are also near 40 miles an hour on the west side. So imagine it's 23 degrees, and you have a 40 mile per hour gust, and you have those fine snowflakes blowing around, that kind of light snow that kind of pelts and hurts your face kind of thing. So when you combine all of that, this is what it feels like. We're right back to square one, right where we started off the work week. It felt like below zero Monday morning. It will probably feel like below zero in a couple more hours from now. It feels like 7 out toward areas like Fremont, Norwalk, about 7 to 9 degrees, 11 degrees, 15, 19. We're continuing to fall here in downtown Cleveland. So make sure it's layers, 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 heavy duty winter gear needed for today. So that's what it looks like there. As we continue here, 7:46 on our Friday morning. Yeah, everything is pretty much starting to happen as we speak. I mentioned that it could have been around 6 or 7 in the morning. I've pushed that timing this morning a little bit closer to 8 a.m. And now we're about 15 minutes away from 8 a.m. And I think we're going to see that flash freeze potential really start verifying, especially on the west side where it's brutally cold right now. Again, I haven't seen any comments yet on here. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends, sharing it with your family. If you're staying home, let me know. Maybe if you're one of the kids watching at home, put a comment down on Facebook or on YouTube. We're also on YouTube. Let me know what you're seeing where you are. I want to know if it's snowing. I want to know if you're seeing that water actually turning into ice, because it's hard to see on our cameras because they're out on the highways. They're out in big places that usually are treated and have salt. So please let me know. I want to see those comments. I've only seen a few of them. I want to see more of them out there. I know there's quite a few people watching as well. Let's see, we got almost 100 people right now on, I think it is Facebook alone. So what you're seeing, let me know. Comment down what you're seeing. And if you're seeing nothing, let me know that you're seeing nothing. I want to know about that as well, because in some places, we're honestly done with the snow for the entire day. I'm going to shift it just a little bit down to the south and west. In Ashland, you're seeing your last snowflakes right now. Once this pushes on through, you're done with the snow for the rest of the day. It's really going to be about the cold and that flash freeze potential that's happening right now. Wellington over to Oberlin and Elyria, you're seeing the last of the flakes right now as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if you get a little bit of lake effect, especially Elyria and that secondary snow belt later this afternoon. I'm going to show you that future cast in a moment. Let's see. We got a comment here on YouTube. Oh, such a lovely cat photo. And by the way, I've been asking about if we can maybe get some cat photos as well with our dog walking forecast that we do every morning. So you want to stay tuned for that. But look at that. Snowing hard in North Royalton. Layer of ice. That's important. Layer of ice on surfaces like car windows. And this is what I've been worried about. We're seeing that starting to verify. This is a big problem. Let me zoom in a little bit as well toward that North Royalton area. Like look at all of that snow on top of the water. So that water is turning into ice. Then you're getting the snow on top of that. So it's covering the ice so you can't see the ice in spots. And then you're driving along it and you're like, I'm losing control. My traction's not working. That's the kind of worry that I've had for the last several days. And in North Royalton, I think that's unfortunately what we could be dealing with. So 7:49. I'm going to have a Good Morning America cut in about 5 minutes. So you're going to see me break off for just a minute then. But right now, again, we're seeing that ice. If you're seeing ice where you are, let me know, because it's probably not just North Royalton. But I want confirmation from you at home watching this video right now. If you're literally looking out your window, so you have my computer, you're the computer screen with me on it right here. You have a window right there. I want you to look out that window and tell me what you're seeing. That's going to help me out a lot, because radar can show you one thing, but your feedback, what you're seeing where you are, is going to be very, very important. So that's what it looks like in North Royalton. Let me look at Futurecast with you here, because I think we're going to see a little bit more snow as well. So let me guide you through it hour by hour here. So this is what it looks like now, pretty much on par with what the radar is showing, right? That's going to get out and out of the way. Look at the colder temperatures, which we're already seeing. So I think this is actually a little bit too warm. 25 in Cleveland, more like 23, 22. And watch that lake effect. There it is. There's the lake effect showers moving on in. Around 1 or 2 this afternoon in the primary snow belt. This is where I expect the snow to be moderate to heavy, where those squalls do persist just a little bit longer. Luckily, this is only about a 6-hour window. So we go from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock still snowing. And by about 8 or 9, over, done with. So it's a quick shot of lake effect snow. It's not going to be a lot, but it's really just adding insult to injury. Where we had that heavy rain, we've seen the snow melt, now we're seeing the ice, and now we're going to see more snow and the frigid cold. It's like, come on, Mother Nature, are you like trying to make Ohio's weather that miserable today? That's what it kind of almost feels like with all of this rapid change that we've been seeing out there. What I did also want to show, although my clicker doesn't seem to be working, so let me click again. Clicker is not working, so I'm going to manually advance here. Yep, so I'm going to have to use the the mouse here. I'm also a little bit worried about a little freezing drizzle tomorrow morning as we get another shot of warmer air. Again, it's a temperature roller coaster, literally. So we're going down right now. We're going to go up tomorrow, but as we do so, a warm front might drop a little freezing drizzle. A little too early about specifics, but I want to let you know about that potential. That's going to be for tomorrow morning. Then it's out of the way. And look at that, 45, 46 degrees tomorrow. Outdoor plans, anyone? Tomorrow, we'll be able to enjoy it because it won't be windy. It'll feel pretty nice tomorrow afternoon. We just got to get through the snow first right now and the snow into this afternoon and evening. I'm going to take a closer look with you here into the primary snow belt. There's our 1 to 3. Basically, Cleveland points east. I think we'll get about an inch on the east side of Cleveland, less than an inch in a Lakewood, Edgewater, Detroit Shoreway. I think it's going to be less than an inch because we're going to just miss out on that band. But eastern Geauga and Ashtabula counties, I think in this area, there's a pretty good chance we do see 2 or 3 inches of snow. And the best chance for 3 or more is going to be right on the border with Pennsylvania. So typically where we see the most amount of lake effect snow, that's where I expect it. So I wanted to show you this as well. Let's see, we got a couple more comments here. We got one from Max. It is snowing in Hudson. I can confirm it is snowing in Hudson. Let me take a bit of a closer look with you here on the radar. So here we go. Again, there's that snow happening right now into the snow belt areas. And you can see it's actually coming down at a decent clip here in Geauga County. So traveling along 422 is probably less than ideal right now. Let's see, anything else interesting? Bear with me 1 second. As we continue here, again, 7:53 now. So we're about to hit the 8 o'clock hour, which is when I think most of the issues are going to start happening. All right, let's take one more look at those temperatures. I'm just fascinated by this amount of temperature drop that we're dealing with right now. It's just happening so quick. Yeah, 23 in Sandusky, Fremont 23, 23 Mansfield. We're literally seeing these numbers dropping in front of me. Akron, you're below freezing now. When I started this live stream, we were what, 34, 35? Not even a half an hour in, and we're now down to 31. Downtown Cleveland's at 30. Medina's at 28. I'm especially worried about north and west of 71. You've seen that drop below freezing before anyone else while it was snowing, while there's water on the ground. So this is the area that I'm most worried about the flash freeze. Not so much on the east side, but even then, I think you'll see some icy spots. We avoid the worst case on the east side. So, you know the saying, west side, the best side? Not today. No, not with this flash freeze. So that's what it looks like there. One more look at downtown Cleveland. I mean, look at that. When I showed you this morning, none of the roofs had any blanket of white. So now we're dealing with snow right there. Yeah, you could see easily a coating, maybe a 2/10, 3/10 of an inch of snow here. This is downtown Cleveland, and you can see 90 all the way at the bottom, if you can make that out right there. That's 90. Traffic moving okay there, which is good to see. Let's see. Let's see a couple more live cameras here. Again, there's one more look at 90. Big snowflake kind of blocking part of our view there. There in downtown Cleveland. One more look as well. This is going to be 77 at 80. Uh-oh. I don't like the look of this. I don't like the look of this one bit because it looks like this is now turning into ice. It doesn't just look like a glaze. It almost looks a little bit opaque as we're about a little under a minute from our cut-in. So in about a minute and a half, you're going to see me do the weather update on Good Morning America. So I'm going to break away in just a moment. But I do not like the look of this road at all. This is starting to look a little more opaque, not glossy. So this is likely going to turn into some icy spots in the next half hour. So I know one of our producers, Gabby, has been keeping a close eye on these cameras. I'm going to go away from this because I have to do the cut-in, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of these cars starts spinning out because they're going a little faster than I would have liked to see with the type of conditions that we're seeing right now. Alrighty, Mike is in Traffic Tracker right now, so I'm going to be listening to what he has to say right now. By the way, downtown Cleveland, 27 right now. Whew, oh boy. Let me see if I can actually pull up Mike here. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Nope. If only I knew which one was which. All right, there we go. So this is what Mike is seeing right now. You see that? So he's on 71 right now. We're still seeing wet roads, which is good to see. So this is decent right now on 71. This is not bad. All right, I got to get ready here, so bear with me. Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. Great glimpse into what the road conditions are looking like on 71. If you go just a little bit to the south, I was showing my friends on Facebook Live that it's getting a little dicey. So please be extra careful. I'll have more updates on Facebook Live if you tune in literally right after this. But look at this colder weather. We're now down to 22 in Mansfield. That's a dramatic drop from what we just had a couple of hours ago. 27 in downtown Cleveland. And we're seeing that snow falling mainly in the metro area, really right along the 77 corridor. So what we're dealing with is that snow that's sticking on the sides, on the grass, on those colder surfaces. And we're starting to see that flash freeze really starting to verify on the west side. Not so much here on areas here like Aurora or Portage County. You'll probably get into some icy spots a little after 10 or 11 a.m. We'll have more in the next coming hours. Alrighty, and we are clear from that cut-in on Good Morning America, so that's why we're juggling live TV as well as live on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook. A lot going on. My clicker is still not working. I'm trying to click, as you can tell, and it's not working. So I'm going to ask actually one of our directors if it's possible to grab the backup clicker from the studio. That would be awesome. Paula said yes, so that's beautiful. In the meantime, let's see. Let's see. Any other comments? I'm still not seeing a lot of comments. I'm not sure if they're broken or anything, but please let me know what you're seeing where you are. That would be very, very helpful right over there. Let's see a little bit of a closer look here at temperature because they've been continuing to fall.
Well, Holden's breaking down, so next week we'll just be.
Okay, good to know. We got one of our executive producers here giving me an update on what to expect for the rest of this morning for those Good Morning America cut-ins. It's getting colder and colder, folks. Down to 25 in Ashland right now, 29 in Worcester, 30 in Millersburg, pair of threes in Coshocton. Canton is now below freeze. Look at Akron. We have fallen, from 34 when we started this live stream. Now we're 29. So that flash freeze potential is certainly there in Akron. Let's actually take a look at a live camera here in Akron. What are we dealing with? Bear with me one moment while I do pull up Akron right here. Bear with me one moment while I do so. All right. Look at that. We're actually getting a little bit of accumulation again on those colder surfaces on the rooftops of the buildings. It's starting to stick a little bit of snow out there. Road conditions are fine because I know in downtown they've been salting, they've been treating. That's great to see. But a couple of spots where the salt doesn't reach, there could be an icy spot. Maybe your car tire goes on that icy spot, and that could be a big time problem. So please be extra careful on those roads as it's actively snowing at a light clip. It's not overly heavy, but that's something that we're looking at there. Let's see a couple other cameras here as well. Let's go over to... Let's see, what other cameras do we have here? Let's go to Worcester. And similar idea in Worcester where we're seeing that accumulation. Again, it's a quick coating or so. We're seeing it on the field here. The road, no accumulation, but we are seeing that shine on the road. And any bit that's unfortunately not salted, that's going to cause issues. That's going to be icy. So be extra careful there. Let's see. Mandy just actually sent in a comment. Let me see right over here. Mandy says it's sleeting in Massillon and it's 32 degrees. We're seeing that changeover now, especially south and east of the metro. And we're seeing 32. And similar idea as well, right along the lakefront, because the lake temperature is 38. 38 is above freezing. So when you get a wind off the lake, you're also going to lead to slightly warmer temperatures right along the lakefront. So thank you, Mandy, for sending that in. Whatever you're seeing in your neighborhood, in your town, let me know what you're seeing, because I think that's going to be really important and really helpful in figuring out who could see the flash freeze and who's not. A couple other cameras. Let's see. This is going to be downtown. Look at that. Earlier this morning, it was all blacktop. It was all snow-free. And now on the RTA tracks, I'm seeing a quick coating. On some of these passageways, a little coating. On top of Huntington Bank Field, I see a coating. On top of the grass next to the Science Center, that's a coating. So that was quick. That's what we're dealing with right now at 8:02 on our Friday morning. So happy Friday for those who are joining in right now. A little bit later on, we've been live for the last 40 minutes and change, dealing with this this interesting situation. It's not, let's say, the end of the world. It's not a massive storm. It's just been a multi-part storm that's just been insanely annoying, because we had 60 degrees for some of us yesterday. Then we had that line of thunderstorms last night that dropped the temperature. Now we're seeing a burst of snow. Now the temperatures are falling below freezing. Now we're seeing standing water freezing up in real time. We had a comment from North Royalton a little bit ago saying that they saw just a flat out sheet of ice on the windshield. That's what I'm worried about. That's what a flash freeze really is. So let me go back to basics. Let me talk about flash freeze, what we're dealing with here. So bear with me while I pull that up. All right. So our cars are going to look a little bit like this out the door in the next hour. They might not look like it yet, but in the next hour, especially on the west side, this is what you're going to be dealing with. And that's not good. That's going to be a problem, unfortunately. So what does it really entail? Let's take a closer look at that, because it's really, in essence, a 20+ degree drop in a few hours, where the temperature goes from way above freezing to below freezing. We were at 57 last night. Now we're down to 27, I believe was that last check. Insane how fast that temperature has fallen. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. I love doing research, by the way, and find out what the biggest 12-hour drop is, because it's probably about 30, 35 degrees, I would guesstimate, is the record. Going from 57 to 27 is 30 degrees. We could be approaching top 10 record territory with this. Don't quite quote me on it, because I need to do a little research there, but that's one of the things we're dealing with. Also, so your car might look like what I just showed you, which means you're going to have a frozen car door, and that means you're going to have to yank that car door open just a little bit harder in order to get through that ice, that water that is just frozen up because of that flash freeze. Also, the glass, the windshield wipers. Raise your hand at home if you happen to put up your windshield wipers when active winter weather happens. I do that from time to time. This particular situation, you do not want to do that, because with all of that liquid that is literally traveling with the force of gravity down those wipers, that water is actually going to be freezing up because of the temperatures falling below freezing. So you're going to have icicles on those windshield wipers. So when you actually go down and put them down and then try to use those windshield wipers, you're going to be scraping that ice. You're going to break your windshield wipers. You don't want to do that. You want to actually put your windshield wipers flat onto the glass. And even if the glass is freezing up, especially in newer cars, hit the defrost button, and you're going to have to add a few extra minutes of prep time. We're now after 8 a.m., and I'm probably going to see reports. And again, let me know what your car looks like and where you are, especially on the west side. I think some of these cars, if those windshields aren't frozen yet, they are really going to be in any minute now. So that's why you want to use extra time for that morning commute, even before you even push the gas pedal. When you do press the gas pedal, there will be icy spots likely. And you know the saying, you've seen those signs on the highway, bridge freezes before, or the overpass freezes first, whatever variation of that. What that basically means is, and I gave this analogy about a half an hour ago. If you're still tuning in, thank you for sticking around for the last 40 minutes. I'm going to tell it for our new viewers who might have just woken up, or maybe some school kids who realized, hey, I have a snow day today. Well, really a cold kind of weather day today. Think of a smoothie blender. Have you ever made a smoothie at home? You're like, what does a smoothie have to do with bridges and ice? So imagine you have some cheap, slow blender and you have a bunch of big fruit that you're trying to cut up and make into a smoothie. So that blade is going to be rotating really slowly. And the smoothie you're going to get is, one, going to take a lot of time, and two, have like bits and pieces. It won't really be a really nice smoothie. On the other hand, if you have a really expensive, really nice, really powerful smoothie blender, you put those fruits in, you click the blend button, and it blends really quick and it becomes really, really effective, a really good smoothie. Same idea with the wind, because you have the overpass, you have the bridge. So you have the wind on top and you have the wind below it. You have wind on both sides. And when you have that cold wind with temperatures below freezing, it blends up, it adds that extra cold to the water. It doesn't let it freeze. It doesn't let it evaporate. Instead, it forces it to freeze faster. That's why bridges freeze first. Hopefully that analogy kind of helps out. And that's why at first you're like, wait, what, bridges don't really, what does that mean? Hopefully that makes more sense. And that's why they're a little bit more of a hazard. I know in previous storms, I-90 in downtown Cleveland, that bridge over the Cuyahoga, no matter how many times they've salted it, has had skid outs, has had spin outs, has had accidents. So I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happens this morning there or on any of those other bridges and overpasses. And again, if you're seeing snow where you are, if you're seeing ice on the car, if you're seeing ice on the grass, let me know. Or if you're seeing nothing on the east side, I also want to know that as well. I'm not seeing any comments since Mandy's a few minutes ago. I know there's quite a few of you watching, so please let me know what you're seeing. That would be super helpful for me. Let's take one more look as well at the temperatures. It's been 10 minutes since I've last seen it. What does it look like? Cold. One second as I sip a little bit on my tea. Talking for 50 minutes straight definitely puts a little strain on the vocal cords. All right, 8:08 right now, Friday morning, and we're getting on below freezing now in the snow belt, in those higher elevations. Menor, we've fallen to 28. You're all snow now, by the way, and you're going to see that flash freeze potential over the next hour because we've fallen quick. It was what, 30, 32, 33 in the last hour? Ashtabula is at 33 now. You're going to drop big time in the next 20, 30 minutes. Akron, 29. Canton, now below freezing at 30. 29, 22, 24. Big time cold shot. Very quick over the last couple of hours as that's moved in. 77 at Martindale. I'm going to show you that right now. 77 at Martindale. Bear with me one moment. There we go. I mean, look at that snow falling right now. And look how it's almost trying to stick. Look at the lane dividers. You can see that stripe of white. That's snow trying to stick where it's untreated. Now, the roads look a little shiny. They're mostly just wet. 77, think about it. It's really east side. It's east of the Cuyahoga. So what we're seeing is mostly wet conditions right now, but a coating of snow on the median, on the grass, and eventually some parts of the highway could have an icy spot or two. Remember, ODOT has been salting the heck out of these roads, which is great. The main highways, I'm not as concerned about. I'm more concerned about the bridges on the highways and any isolated icy spots that might be causing some issues. So the main highways should be generally okay this morning with a couple of exceptions. The side streets, the sidewalks, as you're walking to and from school, maybe to and from your car in the backyard, if you forgot to salt last night or the salt all washed away, you might be literally taking a step out your door and going, slip. Because it's literally an ice skating rink right under your feet. That's what I'm concerned about especially. We got a couple of comments. One from Danielle. Danielle saying lots of wind, light to moderate snow in Garfield Heights. I can confirm. I'm going to ask actually Gabby to pull up a camera near Garfield. Anything near Garfield? So like a camera near 271 kind of. Let's see. I just minimized my weather program. Hold on one moment while I pull it back up. Let's go to the Power 5 radar here at 8:11. And in Garfield Heights, I mean, yeah, look at that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with snow. And honestly, I think, Danielle, we're going to actually see this taper off over the next 30 minutes. I think we're going to see it become more of a lighter snow in about 10 minutes. And then in 30 minutes, we're probably going to be done with the snow in Garfield Heights with this part of the storm. We got to talk about the lake effect snow. That'll start up at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. So we'll have a little bit of a break from active precipitation, but the freeze on the ground. And by the way, Danielle, let me know if you're seeing any sort of ice on maybe the roads, on the sidewalks, on the car windshield. I want to know because I haven't seen a lot of comments in the last 20 or so minutes. And I think, Melody, you kind of explained it well. Got to give it up to Old Man Winter, man. Literally throwing so many things with this storm. It's a lot that we're dealing with the 60-degree temperatures yesterday, the storms last night, the snow right now, the flash freeze right now, the lake effect that's to come later, the feels like temperatures that are going to be near zero this afternoon. Each one singular thing is not a lot, but when you combine everything together, it's just, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, Old Man Winter for sure. Let's take one more look at the cameras. This is 480 at Transportation Boulevard, and we can see those snowflakes kind of covering up the screen right now. Parts of it because we are dealing with those snowy conditions as our ODOT crews kind of flipping around the cameras just a little bit. We can see some light snow still falling down. We can see those coatings on the grass, and we're seeing a lot of shine on the roads, which means the roads have not dried up yet. I'm pretty sure they're salted, which means most of them should remain wet. But wherever that salt missed, there will be icy spots. And you won't really know until you drive on it or literally a second before you see it. And you're like, oh, crap. Hold on to that steering wheel and hope for the best because there'll just be these random parts. And also, by the way, on and off ramps, not necessarily salted. Look at that. There's already some snow and ice on the ramp. Look at how slow that car is taking it and now speeding up as it leaves that area of snow and ice on the on-ramp. Watch out for that because that definitely does not look good. That on and off ramp, not great. So yeah, that's 480 at Transportation on the south side of Cleveland. What else are we dealing with here? Out of curiosity, let's see. 17 closings. I'm not sure if that's an updated number, but you can go to news5cleveland.com for that updated list. This is what the temperatures are right now. We've fallen another degree in Akron. Now we're down to 28. We were at almost 60 degrees yesterday. Insane. Absolutely insane. 23 in Sandusky. Fremont, 23. It is frigid. Menor just dropped another degree or so, down to 28. It is getting very cold. Let's see. Linda mentioning it's snowy and so windy. I mean, those winds have been howling. We've had, if you watched Good Morning Cleveland earlier this morning, Mike Holden was at the scene in Berea. Massive tree falling down and also impacting a car. Hopefully that car is not totaled, but we'll find out soon. The gusts along the lakefront, look at that, 41 miles an hour right now in Menor, 33 here in downtown Cleveland, and they're going to be between 30 and 40 miles an hour the rest of the morning and around 30 miles an hour later on into the afternoon. So I'm going to take a quick pause here because we do have to do a cut-in for Good Morning America. Ginger Z is about to go on TV, and when she does so, then she'll toss to me here as a local station. We're the ABC affiliate in Cleveland, of course, so we're going to do a little something here with these temperatures. Let's see. Looks like they're still going with the pop news here. So we got another minute or so. But, I mean, let's enjoy this at least a little bit. I mean, let me know in the comments. Are you a fan of snow? Myself, I'm a snow lover. I hate the cold, but I love the snow. I know, kind of crazy. But there's just something so pleasant, so relaxing about seeing that nice little dusting of snow on the grass It just adds a little extra vibrance and brightness in an otherwise kind of dark time now that we have the least amount of sunlight this time of year. We're what, 2 days away from winter starting officially. Astronomical winter begins on, what is it, Sunday? Wow, that's crazy. So we see that little bit of snow. Here, the roads, you can clearly tell they've been salted. They're just plain old wet. But again, when we're going to see any sort of spots that ODOT missed with the salt, we're going to see some icy spots, some spin outs, especially on the side roads. Looks like Sam is still going with the pop news, so we have another minute or so to spare. Let's see. Luis, I'm glad I got my car washed yesterday, and she is tucked away. Oh, so hey, I mean, this is one great reason to have a driveway if you have that ability to have a covering, avoid the elements. Then that way you don't have to deal with having to scrape off that ice and defrost and deal with all of that, especially on the west side. If your car's outside, you're going to have to deal with that. If it's inside, a whole lot better. Yesterday was not a bad day to do the car wash, but we're probably have to deal with more salt on the roads. So here we go. Ginger's doing the weather now. I'm going to do the cut in here real quick. So bear with me. Alrighty. All right, just standing by here. I'm listening to Ginger, so we're going to be up in any second, so bear with me as we do live TV. Thanks, Ginger, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Live look downtown Cleveland. Roads that are salted are dealing with decent conditions, but as you can see, we're already seeing a light accumulation on those colder, untreated surfaces. The temperature has fallen another degree here in downtown Cleveland, now at 26. We're below freezing almost everywhere across Northeast Ohio, and it's very windy as well. Some of those gusts approaching 40 miles an hour this morning, so hold on to that steering wheel extra tight out there this morning. All right, and we're clear just like that. 30-second cut-in. They're known as cut-ins because we're literally cutting into the Good Morning America show with our local weather. We do this 4 times an hour usually. So that was our first time. The second time is going to be in a little under 10 minutes. And then we're going to have a couple more updates at about 40 past the hour and then 55 past the hour, and then we'll be done with that. Let's see. Shell with Now, is that about the freeze? Is that about the cold? Let me know what in particular that is about. I'm just curious. Maybe you're not quite seeing that freeze. Not everyone's going to see it, obviously, but the west side will have a much better shot at it. Linda also mentioning, love the snow. Hey, Linda, I'm with you on that. I love the snow. I just hate the types of impacts it can produce, like what we're seeing this morning with that very cold air and that melted snow and that rain causing the flash freeze for some of us. So less than ideal, I know. My favorite snow, of course, is really when it's light, fluffy, a nice quick coating, roads are fine. That's the best kind of snow, of course. Or the snow that forces everyone home because there's 2 feet of snow on the ground and we just hunker down at home, sipping a cup of tea. At least my favorite is tea. I know some people love hot cocoa, hot chocolate. I mean, in Northeast Ohio, like, what is our favorite go-to hot drink during the winter? I'm curious. I don't know if there's an official drink. I don't know if Starbucks has like some sort of like a year-end review of favorite coffee drinks per state. I'm curious, what do we love here across Northeast Ohio? But let me sip on a little bit of the tea because my voice definitely feeling a little bit after about an hour on Facebook Live. So one moment. Alrighty. We're at 8:20 on the nose right now on our Friday morning. The wind is cranking. We've seen some fallen trees. We've seen power outages in Berea, in Lorraine, scattered isolated ones in other parts of Northeast Ohio as well. We got an update from Lynn Nash. Lynn mentioning a coating of snow on the ground in Aurora over the last half hour, and it's still coming down. I can confirm. Let's take a look at the Power 5 radar right now into Aurora. What are we dealing with? We are dealing with if the computer were to load, wow. I've literally been putting my computer through a lot. I'll tell you that much with all of the work that I've been putting into the computer. But yeah, I mean, we're dealing with a decent amount of snow. You're going to deal with the snow, Lynn, for the next 20 minutes, I would say, because look at the back edge. It's pretty much over 77 right now. So Independence, the snow is winding down. Parma, the last of the flakes right now. Strongsville, you're pretty much wrapping up with the snow. 80 through Silo, through Parkman, Burton, dealing with decent amount of snow right now. Aurora also dealing with the snow, and will continue to deal with the snow for another 20, 25 minutes probably. So you might actually get a half an inch in total in Aurora. And then on top of that, we got the lake effect to talk about. Into the afternoon and evening, you can get another inch or so from that. So one thing that we're keeping an eye out on. Yeah, so there you go. A little bit off to the west, we have another little batch here near Norwalk. Let me rewind this. Let me see if this has had any credence. Very light, but light snow in Norwalk. Might coat the ground just a little bit on the grass. The main burst of snow is moving through Chardon right now, along US 6, through Burton, through Huntsburg, through areas that have seen the most snow in Northeast Ohio so far this winter. In fact, we've seen what, over 3.5 feet of snow so far, which is ahead of schedule in an area like a Burton, South Russell, Eastern Cuyahoga County. We've probably gotten a couple of tenths of an inch there on the grass, but the roads are mostly dry. Let me see if there are any other interesting cameras. For what it's worth, I'm not seeing a lot on the traffic front, which is great to see. And volume has been lighter today, which is also awesome to see. People have been taking our warning about staying home if you don't have to be out and about. A few of the school districts also closing or having delayed openings. That's great to see. There are a couple of crashes, by the way, but nothing too crazy. Let me actually pull up on my traffic map here to see if there's anything that I can pull up here. So bear with me one moment while I do that. Bear with me here. Alrighty, so anything interesting? We do have an accident symbol here on 90 in Lakewood, probably near West Boulevard. Looks like it's, what is it on? It's on West 117th, it looks like. So a crash probably off the off-ramp on 117th at Triscuit. Interesting. Yeah. So my bigger worry, honestly, has been more about the side streets, not even these major roads. So West 117th is a big thoroughfare through Lakewood. We got the Aldi, we got the Giant Eagle, we have, what else do we have? We have the Get-Go gas station there. We have CVS, Walgreens not far up toward Clifton. We have a lot of stuff on West 117th, obviously. We got Lucky's. We got a lot of stuff there. So what we're seeing is even on these major streets, we're still seeing issues on the roads. So all it takes is for a little patch of ice, a little puddle that has frozen over, because we're seeing that flash freeze happening in parts of the area right now. And that's what you're going to get. So even if you're not on the highway, I'd argue off the highway are the bigger issues. So that's one thing that we're looking at. Route 44 looks to be closed. I'm going to try to get a little more information on that near Edison Street due to a crash. And then 322 at Butternut Road, we also have a crash there as well. So quite a few things that we're dealing with. Let me zoom on out. As we're a minute and a half, by the way, away from what's it called? The cut-in. So we're going to do both traffic and weather for this, and we have 2 minutes to do it, I believe. So let's see. Let me do this quick old frame capture here. You're gonna be seeing some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that we do to prepare our traffic and weather here at News 5. You get a little sneak peek. I know some people. I know as a kid especially, I always loved to learn the process of behind the scenes. to make the magic on TV happen. So you get a little bit of an insight here on how we use our computer program. So I'm going to get this ready here over the next minute and a half that I have to get ready here. So bear with me while I get ready. Here, we're 30 seconds away. Alrighty, bear with me while I get this going. All right, this is the wrong camera, so let me change this up real quick. Let me get it to here. This looks like it is 90 in that area. Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, even in the Akron area, we're dealing with that snow falling and sticking. So we'll take a closer look here. All right, cut-in time, people. Let's get ready. Time now, just a little before 8:30 on our Friday morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Kind of crazy start out there with the rain earlier this morning, the dropping temperatures, a burst of snow, and now I'm worried about some flash freeze going on across western parts of Northeast Ohio. This is a live look right now. State Route 8 at 80. So we're talking south side toward the Akron area, where road conditions are wet for the most part. ODOT has been treating these roads. So while the volume is there, I expect most of the highways to be wet, but wherever that salt misses, we're seeing it instantly freeze as temperatures are falling below freezing. Case in point, you can see that snow sticking even on the on-ramp. You can see a little bit of snow covering there. And we're also seeing accidents, not just on the highways, but also on the side streets. We're talking about West 117th, which isn't really a side street. It's more a major street. But wherever you get those slick spots, wherever you get those icy spots, it will cause accidents out there. This is pretty much right off the off-ramp of West 17th and I-90 at Triscuit. So just watch out for that. A little bit of an issue there. Again, 90 itself is fine. The salt is doing its job, even though you can see the snow accumulation in the middle. Snow at least is tapering off for the most part. This is downtown Cleveland right now. Much better visibility, by the way. We could barely see the buildings about 30 minutes ago. Right now it's improving. Temperatures are not. Akron is below freezing. You were one of the last areas to see the above freezing temperatures. They're in the 20s pretty much everywhere. And it feels even colder, unfortunately. Look at that. Fremont and Sandusky, we continue to fall 21 degrees. So that's where we're likely to see the biggest chance of that flash freeze happening. So keep that in mind. Snow showers, they're on the east side now. So west side is mostly dry. East side, Menor through Portage and eastern Cuyahoga County, a little bit of snow that'll last through about 9:30 this morning. All right, and we are clear. How about that? So here we go. 8:29. I'm going to rejoin here on my Facebook and YouTube audience. Let's see here. We got a comment with trophy emoji. Well, appreciate that. So yeah, that's what we're looking like right now. 8:29 on our Friday morning. I feel like the biggest thing I need from you at home watching, all 50 plus on YouTube, I know there's probably more watching on Facebook as well. What are you seeing out your window? Because sure, we're seeing the snow, which is tapering off to the west, even though we have a little bit of a burst near Sandusky, not overly heavy. But are you seeing it freezing over? Are you seeing that ice forming on the cars or maybe on the sidewalk? Are you seeing the road conditions wet, icy? What in particular are you seeing? Or did they have enough time to dry off before this batch of snow came through? I really want to know because, especially on the east side, it's going to be interesting on the east side because you're the last to see the temperature drop. Now we're into the day, so we have a little sunlight to help us out even through the clouds to hopefully prevent the worst of the flash freeze. But on the west side, I'm a little worried for that flash freeze potential. Again, for those tuning in now who have probably missed out, let me guide you again real quick on what a flash freeze is. And this is what your car might look like, especially on the west side, especially out toward Mansfield or toward Sandusky, because we had that heavy bit of rain, we had that snow melt, and then the temperature dropped like a rock, and the water didn't have enough time to evaporate, to dry off, or have the gravity help get it all the way down to the ground. So this is what your car might look like this morning. Also, make sure to send in those photos. If your car does look like that, I want to see it. I want to show it on TV. I want to show it here on Facebook. So make sure you're commenting that along. But basically, a flash freeze is when the temperature drops more than 20 degrees in just a few hours. We were at 57 degrees at 10 p.m. last night. We're still not 12 hours later, and it's 26. That is a 31-degree drop, right? If I'm not mistaken. Little quick math, 57 minus 31. Kids, help me out. Is that? Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. So that's what we're dealing with. That's why it's a flash freeze, because water, any sort of untreated surface of water, is going to freeze with the help of the wind. If the wind wasn't around, it wouldn't be that bad. But we do have those gusts that have caused power outages, that have caused down trees. Mike Holden was live earlier this morning covering some of those down trees as well, and the power outages in the Berea area. But the big thing is, if your car is going to look like that, that means your car door is going to be frozen shut. You're going to have a hard time just to yank it open. You might have to do a couple of tries of that to open up the car door on the west side. Glass, windshield wipers, same idea. I mentioned this about a half an hour ago. I'm going to mention it again. Those windshield wipers, if you've always put them on during a snowstorm, put them up. I actually do not recommend that. Put them back down onto the glass, because with the help of gravity and all of that water on those wipers, as the flash freeze happens, they freeze onto the wipers. Then you try to put it down and you try to do the windshield wipers on your glass, and you're going to scrape that ice. You're going to ruin the windshield wipers. So that's going to be a problem for basically ruining the windshield wipers. You don't want to do that. Put it down on the glass and have the defrost setting melt that ice. And then you want to do the windshield wipers, clear off any little bit of snow or whatever. So that will take a few extra minutes to make sure you're getting out safely between the car door being shut, between the frozen windshield wipers and the glass. And then, of course, we're talking about then once you get on the road about the issues. And again, honestly, it's not necessarily that big of a deal for the big roads because they've been salted over. But ice is going to be likely on some of the side streets and especially on the bridges because you have wind over the bridge, you have wind under the bridge. It's like a wind effect, which helps cool it down very fast. So that's why the saying "bridge freezes first." You probably have seen those. You've seen those signs on the highway. That's going to apply there. Here we go. A couple of issues here. A couple of tech issues throughout the morning. We've seen the computer go in and out a couple of times, but we got someone watching from Alabama. Man, low 40s sound pretty nice right about now, and later this afternoon they're going to be in the middle 60s. Do I fast forward to the Christmas part? Who in the chat wants to learn about Christmas time? I have a pretty big update now that we're 6 days away and have a much better idea at what to expect. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's hop over to the Christmas forecast, an early look at it. This is going to be interesting because look what we're expecting into the week of Christmas and the several days after. Look at this maroon color. Look at this. Most of the southern states, about a third of the country, from Texas to Oklahoma to Kansas, is going to deal with near record warmth. For us here in Ohio, this is where we are. You can see that right over there. We're right literally on the edge of it. We're going to be super close because there's going to be that leftover Arctic cold that we have right now is going to be stubborn to get out. But this warmth is just so massive. It'll likely be record breaking in some cases. And we're going to ride that boundary between the two. At this point, I think the warmth will win out. You see what I wrote? We could make a run at 60 degrees. Let me show you that 7-day forecast real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Bear with me while I do that. That's what happens when you have 300 graphics in your system. I mean, it's always better to be prepared, but then it makes it a little bit messy. But here we go with the 7-day forecast. I'm going to step out of the way. You see this number? This is the first time we have Christmas on the 7-day, and look at my opening bid. It's not a typo. I have 57. 57 on Christmas. What? Man, Let's see. Sherry commenting, what's going to go on overnight tonight? I heard it's going to get really bad. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be really bad. I'm going to get to that in just a moment, Sherry. Let me just finish this thought real quick on the Christmas forecast. So yeah, 57. Let me actually do a little quick something with you here in real time. So bear with me while I do it. I'm going to go on to the National Weather Service website. I'm going to click on Cleveland, and I'm going to click on the almanac for December 25th. Can you guess what the warmest Christmas ever recorded was? I'm going to get back to this in a few minutes because I do want to get back to the snow and the flash freeze that's happening right now. But between now and the next few minutes, for anyone in the chat who wants to guess, what is the warmest ever Christmas recorded here in Cleveland? Closest person who gets the number right, I'm going to shout out here in the chat. So write your comments down. What do you think is the warmest Christmas we've ever had on record here in Cleveland? I got the answer, so I'm going to let you know in a little bit. But right now, let's go back. Let's talk about what we're dealing with right now. Because like Sherry mentioned, what's going to happen overnight tonight? Let's talk about it. Let's go to Futurecast. Bear with me one moment while I pull it up. All right, almost there, folks. There we go. So the next few hours, this little bit of snow gets on out of the way. There might be a little lingering light snow at times, but the bigger story with these cold temperatures that continue to crash down will be the flash freeze over the next couple of hours. Any untreated surfaces, and even some areas that are salted, that salt will become ineffective below 22 degrees. My magic number, rule of thumb, you should probably keep that in the back of your mind as well whenever you have any travel plans and you look at the weather app, when you look at the News 5 app for our weather forecast. Whenever you see 22 or below, that's your red light. That's your, I don't think it's a good idea. 22 and below, salt becomes ineffective. It doesn't really do its job of melting anymore. It loses that power below 22 degrees. That's where we're going to be in Norwalk, in Mansfield, in Ashland over the next hour or two, which might make bad conditions even worse later this morning. Then into the afternoon, what I'm going to be watching out for is lake effect snow showers. You can see it right there. By 1 p.m., it'll be forming on Lake Erie and then pushing inland 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, mostly primary snow belt. So for those watching in the Millersburg, in New Philadelphia, you'll have mostly sunny sky. You'll be like, what's snow? You'll still have to worry about a little bit of that flash freeze tapering off. Once we get the sunshine, we'll be fine. That sunshine will help at least get rid of that standing water. That lake effect snow will impact the evening commute with some snow, quick accumulations, 1 to 3 inches. Once that's out of the way, this is what it looks like tonight, Sherry. It's not going to be bad. Tomorrow morning is interesting. I haven't had enough time to look at it in depth yet, but Futurecast has a little bit of freezing drizzle, this pink color you see right there. It's not quite snow, but it's 29, so it's below freezing in Elyria. It's below freezing in Ashland, but it's not snow. That's because warmer air is moving in from the south. This is a warm front. So even though at the ground it's below freezing, above the ground it's above freezing, which is why any sort of snow melts, but then once it reaches the ground, it has no choice but to freeze because it's below freezing. It looks fairly light and it's very quick, but even just seeing that potential for freezing drizzle is not great. I'm going to have an update later on at noon, so you want to stay tuned for that. And I'll have updates on my Facebook as well. So if you haven't followed me on Facebook yet, of course, 1, what are you waiting for? And 2, you're going to get updates all winter long from me and from all of the Power 5 team on there. So at Allen Weather, very easy. Of course, my name, though, not your usual spelling. It's A-L-L-A-N. So it's 2 A's and 2 L's. Allen Weather, one word, on Facebook. So that might be a little bit of an issue out there for tomorrow morning. But tonight, just a couple of icy spots. Just take it careful, but you should be fine. The bigger deal is going to be how cold it feels. Speaking of how cold it feels, let's take a look at that wind chill forecast because it's going to get cold. This is at 10 a.m. It's going to feel like single digits in Medina, in Ashland feeling like 3, Mansfield feeling like 3. Very cold. And all afternoon long with those 30-mile-an-hour gusts and temperatures near 20, it will feel like single digits and lower teens, no better than that. And this is at 3 o'clock this afternoon, feeling like 9 in Menor and Elyria, 10 here in downtown Cleveland, 8 in Millersburg, 2 in Mansfield. I think Mansfield is going to be the coldest spot across Northeast Ohio, 4 in Carrollton. Very cold evening this evening. And again, we just showed that future cast, so we're going to see that snow go away. What does it feel like right now? Man, it's cold. But again, this is Northeast Ohio. This is winter. We've come to expect it. It just, we've had it more than we should typically see this time of year. It's annoying. You just got to bundle up in layers. You can see the difference between Youngstown, where the front is just now going through 31. You go 100 miles west, 4 in Fremont. 8 is what it feels like in Elyria right now. 6 in Ashland. 4 in Mansfield. I'm shivering even just looking at it. I mean, my tie kind of matches, right? A little bit. If I were to go over here, kind of matches the map, right? A little bit. Yeah, it's Sherry mentioning, imagine that, LOL. I'm in Mansfield. I'm sorry, Sherry, that we're dealing with feels like temperature of 4 degrees there, and it's only getting colder as I just showed you. So layers, layers, layers. I have my News 5 hat. I have gloves with me. I have a scarf. I have a heavy-duty jacket that goes all the way down to my knees. One of my favorite things that I bought at Macy's, actually, big puffer jacket, but it's really the length that it goes all the way down to the knees. That really is helpful out there. I'm going to hide the comment real quick. Ginger is doing weather on Good Morning America, which means it's my time to do a quick 15-second cut-in. Different times depending on how the commercials line up on Good Morning America. So bear with me. I'm going to be silent here for a few seconds, getting ready for the 15-second cut-in. Looking forward to that warm-up, Ginger. Not right now, though. Look at how freezing cold it feels like out there across the area. Single digits, feeling like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 in Fremont. Very cold stuff. This continues to push in for the rest of the day. Cool. And we are clear from that cut-in. Magic of TV, am I right? You have Paula, the director, in my ear telling me when to be cued. I hear Ginger in my ear. I hear what Good Morning America is doing right now. So, man, one of the reasons why I love TV, it's so cool to be a part of it and to also guide everyone at home through some of this more extreme weather that we've been dealing with. And while I wouldn't call this extreme, it's just all of these little things together have just combined to create this hodgepodge of a mess out there this morning. Let's see here. At Deathstrike8289, there's some sort of emoji that our system isn't even registering. So it's like showing a bunch of like letters and numbers. So that's kind of funny. I have good news, by the way. The crash on 322 has cleared off. Road conditions there. Traffic seems to be moving smoothly. So that's great to see. It's, again, crazy to see not a lot of incidents out there on the roads. We're avoiding the worst case, which is phenomenal to see. My job is to make sure that I prepare you for the worst and hope for the best. We're kind of in the middle right now. It's not the best, but certainly not the worst. So that's what we're dealing with out there this morning. Let's see. I have one of my producers texting me right now. Let me just get a message over real quick. Okay, so we got Gabby here with a couple of messages. Let's see the roads here real quick. Let's see if there's anything interesting going on. This is, I mean, it doesn't look great, I have to say. The roads are not perfect. They're not horrible. This can be worse. So this right now, this is decent. This is Route 8. And what we're seeing is a lot of shine on the roads, but at least it doesn't look like it's freezing over. There's plenty of salt. This is great to see. This can be worse. If there's a spot that ODOT missed with the salt, that's an instant ice skating rink. Thank goodness we're not dealing with it. The light snow is tapering off, which is also great. So the visibility is going up. This is a lot better. And we're also seeing a little bit of the snow even on the grass starting to melt, which is great to see. So there you go. As for the alerts, we don't have any alerts, which is great. The heavier lake effect snow is going to be in Pennsylvania. You see that purple color there? They could get 4 or 5 inches of snow tonight. That's not our concern, which is great to see. Couple more cameras. This actually doesn't look all too bad. This is great to see. I'm very happy to see that I'm not seeing ice on these main roads, which is great. Live look downtown Cleveland, visibility improving as the snow is almost over here in downtown. You can see the improvements also, the clouds becoming a little less dark. This is great to see. What's not great to see though are the temperatures. I mean, take a look at these temperatures. It continues to get colder. So we're looking at, whew, I mean, what's 9 plus 10? But yeah, we're dealing with basically 20-degree temperatures in Fremont, Sandusky, Mansfield. Very cold. It continues to get colder. We've dropped another degree in the last 30 minutes in Cleveland from 27 down to 26. Akron, 26. Canton down to 26. New Philly, you're next. You were 38. Now you're down to 32. We're going to be in the 20s any minute now. So that continues to go on down. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's see, this is 90 at Clegg Road. You can see the wind. Look at the camera bouncing. It's having a little bit of a tough time. This is by exit 161 on 90. We see a little bit, you see that? This is the difference for ODOT. This road was completely clear earlier this morning. Well, not clear, I meant like snow-free. This is snow and ice on the shoulder. So if your car breaks down, this is going to be a hazard and a half. You could see that ice and a little bit of light snow on the shoulder. But then over here, it's just wet roads, and that's phenomenal to see. So ODOT, kudos for helping us out there. This is at the Ashtabula County line on 90, and it's snowing heavier there. Visibility is reduced, and the temperatures are now falling below freezing. So Ashtabula, you're next. You are one of the last people in Northeast Ohio to see that temperature drop, which is happening right now. Look at that visibility. The camera is not far. We're talking 1/10 of a mile, and we can barely see 1/10 of a mile. So it's some moderate to heavy snow right now. Traffic is definitely moving slower than usual. This looks like they're going about 45 or 50, not 60, 65. So that's good to see. You can also see the camera shaking. Look at that camera bouncing. The winds are also pretty big. How big? Let's actually take a look at those gusts right now. Yeah, there we go. There's Ashtabula, 47 miles an hour, 44 miles an hour in Menor, 38 miles an hour in Canton. It is windy. Let me see if there are any power outages. I haven't seen any updates yet from my end. I'm just curious. I'm going to look into a website that tracks these power outages. I just want to see if there's any update on that. So across the state, there's almost 6,000 people without power. There are about 250 customers out of power here in Cuyahoga County. Other than that, looks like the rest of Northeast Ohio is not that bad right now, which is great to see. Lorain County had big issues yesterday. Now we're down to 13 customers without power, so big improvement. We love to see that. Let's see, anything else of importance here? Let me check the comments. And again, please let me know what you're seeing out your window. If you're seeing that ice building up maybe on the windshield or maybe on the sidewalk, you forgot to treat apart with the salt and now you're seeing ice out there. I want to know about that. Luis commenting, love your enthusiasm. I appreciate it, Luis. Listen, I love what I do. I've wanted to be a meteorologist since I was 5 years old, and to do it at Ohio's first TV station, it's a dream come true. And the team here, the News 5 team, is incredible. Best news team in Cleveland, bar none. And we have some amazing tools here with the Power of 5 team. Our team here is great. So it helps me out. And it's my job to deliver what you need to know out the door this morning. A little bit of different style. I know some people heading out the door don't have the time to turn on the TV, but are watching me on their iPhone right now, or on their Google Pixel, or on their iPad, or smart TV. So it's great to see that. And as this comment kind of summarizes, good day to stay at home. Hey, I agree with you 100% on that, especially if you're on the west side. West side is not the best side today because we are dealing with the flash freeze situation ongoing. Real quick, let me see if there have been any other additional school closings or delays. We're up to 18, by the way, 18 school closings and delays across Northeast Ohio right now. So decent amount, kind of taking the comments. Sherry also mentioning freezing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cold emojis. I mean, maybe 5 for news 5. Get it? 5. But I can agree. It is freezing cold out there. The actual temperatures are in the 20s. The feels, wow. It just keeps getting colder in Cleveland. Now it feels like 13. Maybe I should step outside and make a wish, right? 13. Feels like 11 in Menor right now, 13 in Akron. Medina's at 11, 8 in Ashland. If you were to rewind this live stream all the way to the beginning, I showed you feels like temperatures near 40 degrees in Coshocton. Now feels like 15. What a difference an hour or two can make. And that's why we've been talking about this flash freeze. Not only for how fast this cold just comes crashing down, but also that with the wind causing any standing water that's untreated to just freeze like that. So that's why I've been live all morning with you here on Facebook Live. Again, I need to know where you are. I've gotten a couple of comments on the west side. Haven't seen much on the east side yet, but let me know. There's quite a few of you on Facebook right now, on YouTube right now, that are watching. If you're watching me here and you have a window right there, look out your window, snap a picture, or just text me here in the chat. What are you seeing? Are you seeing wet roads? Are you seeing snow on the grass? Are you seeing ice building up anywhere? Because that'll be really important for me because I can't quite confirm if we've seen that flash freeze yet or not. I want to see where, depending on what part of Northeast Ohio, I'm going to look at a couple of texts I've also gotten from a couple of friends, seeing what they're dealing with there, as well as the National Weather Service chat. One thing that I love about 2025 and all the technology, I have monitor 1, monitor 2, monitor 3, iPhone, work phone, you name it. So staying connected, really important. Power of social media, being live on Facebook throughout the morning. This is great to see. Let me see here real quick. National Weather Service has actually increased their forecast a little bit. They have a bullseye in Southern Lake and Northern Geauga with 4 inches of snow later this afternoon. But I'm going to show you that futurecast in a little bit. Let's see here. We got a comment from Debbie. Debbie says that she's at work, and it's getting bad out there. That's awesome. Listen, let me know with those updates safely. If you have to be outside, please make sure you're doing it safely. Bundled on up because it feels like 13 right now in Cleveland. We've seen these numbers drop steadily through the morning. And yeah, Debbie mentioning, so it's a little typo here. So it's Wilson Mills. And it's getting bad out there. So yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, there you go. Again, just to make double check. Yeah, Wilson Mills. So Debbie, thank you so much for commenting. And whatever you're seeing where you are, if you're in Elyria, if you're in Oberlin, if you're all the way south of Akron, if you're down toward Dover, if you're in Ravenna, Aurora, anywhere in Portage or Summit counties, let me know what you're seeing. I'm going to share it here on the live stream. I just want to know what you're dealing with in the chat. Let me know what you're seeing out there. So one more look at the temperatures as we are 2 minutes away from a cut-in. The last one that you're going to have to see me do. Right now we are at 24. We've fallen 2 more degrees. What a drop. Literally less than 12 hours ago, we were at 57. Now we're at 24. 57 minus 24 is 33. Man, wild. That's actually even more points than what the Bears scored against the Browns on Sunday for whoever's keeping track. So you know that it's big time when that number exceeds that. So very cold stuff. I'm going to try to get a couple of cameras set up here for the cut-in as I'll be doing traffic and weather for that. So bear with me while I browse around these graphics. ODOT circling these cameras around. Ashtabula still doesn't look all too great. Let me see how the roads are looking right now. Let me go over to the traffic computer. There's a lot of computers that I'm juggling here, so just bear with me as I deal with this. Click off this. I need to get rid of this. 30. We're 30 seconds away, folks. I mean, I love that there's a lot of green on the map. This is great to see because usually we don't really get to see it during this kind of weather, but this is great to see. We're 15 seconds away, so I'm going to be hopping on over to the cut-in here, so bear with me while I do that. All right, we're 5 seconds away, folks. Get ready for some live TV. Just a little before 8:57 on our Friday morning. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Power 5 meteorologist Alan Nosif here on the Weather Center, tracking the roads and the weather conditions as things have gotten from bad to worse pretty quickly, especially on the west side. This is a look at 90 near Clegg Road, and what we're seeing here is ODOT really doing their job. The road is just wet for the most part, even though actual temperatures are below freezing. And you can see where the salt didn't make it on the shoulder, we're seeing that snow and ice, and that's what I'm worried about, icy spots developing. And this is especially true on the side streets, the streets that maybe haven't had salt or had that snow melt kind of wash away the salt. Temperatures now even down to about 22 degrees, meaning the salt isn't as effective. So please be extra careful. You just take that first step out, it could be a bit of a problem. Otherwise, no real big wrecks out there, which is great to see, honestly. This morning. Unfortunately, we're seeing the snow picking up in Ashtabula County as this burst of snow and cold is pushing east. Visibility is reduced to about a half mile here. Again, road conditions are wet, but they could become icy in Ashtabula as the temperatures continue to fall. Where are we at right now? Downtown Cleveland doesn't look all too bad, but it's down to 24 degrees. The wind sustained at 32 miles an hour with some higher gusts, making it feel even colder than what you see here. 24 here, Ashtabula has fallen 4 degrees in 10 minutes. It was 32 degrees, and now it's 28. 27 in Millersburg. Worcester's at 26, down to just 20 on the nose in Mansfield. And that snow, you can see it across Ashtabula County. It's continuing to push away from northeast Ohio, albeit a little bit more snow developing in Lorain County, pushing into Medina County in the next 10 or 15 minutes. I'm live on Facebook right now on the News 5 page and on YouTube. So if you want to take me on the go, take me with you. More Good Morning America next. Alrighty, and that does it. We're off the air right now. There we go. We got a couple of comments here. I'm going to get back here. Michelle on YouTube letting us know, stay careful, safe out there for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. Listen, it's our job here to make sure everyone is staying prepared, informed, safe, because it's been a little bit of a headache. I think that's the best way to talk about it. It's not the end of the world. It's not anything overly crazy. As long as we're taking the right precautions, we'll get from point A to point B, whether it's work or school or any other sort of plans, fine. Just take the proper precautions because the weather is less than ideal. It's kind of crappy out there. So yeah, thank you, Michelle, for that. And Michelle also commenting in Wycliffe, windy and cold day off from work. Great day to pick to be off work in the comforts of home. Hopefully the heater is on, you're enjoying maybe a cup of hot cocoa. Speaking of which, I need to take a sip of the tea because I've been talking nonstop for the last hour and 39 minutes, believe it or not. Kind of crazy, right? So yeah, that's what it looks like there. What else are we dealing with? And here's how it looks like over the next few hours, and this is for Cleveland. It was actually already colder than 30 degrees at 8 a.m., but in the next few hours, what's going to happen is we're going to start to watch the lake effect kick in around noon, 1 o'clock from west side, then into the snow belt by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And look at the temperatures. They're going to be stuck in the lower 20s. They're not going up. They're only going down the rest of the way today. So dangerous cold once again, because that's the actual air temperature. Gusts are near 30 miles an hour, so it feels like single digits out there. Let's take a closer look at that, actually. So what are the gusts right now? 47 miles an hour in Ashtabula, 38 miles an hour in Carrollton, 42 miles an hour in Fremont. It is very windy. And this is how it feels like when the computer decides to work. The computer's not working. Great. Hold on. This is what happens when you do this for an hour and a half. Right now it should work. Right? No? Oh boy. What is going on? Yeah, I'm going to have to reboot the computer in a little bit. Some of the shortcuts aren't working, but this is what it feels like right now. We were literally feeling like 31 5 minutes ago in Youngstown, now 26. We've fallen 5 degrees in the feels like temperature in the last 5 minutes. Degree a minute almost. 11 still in Medina, 8 in Elyria. Sandusky feels like 6 degrees right now. Frigid feel out there. Let's see. Michelle also commenting, the Buffalo Bills brought us this cold weather. Go Browns. First off, if you are going to the Browns game, make sure you're bundling on up. I'm going to show you that Browns forecast in just a moment. But in Buffalo, what is the temperature in Buffalo? Now I'm curious. Bear with me one second while I pull this up. Current temps. Let's see. What are the current temperatures in Buffalo right now? It is 35. It is warmer in Buffalo right now than it is here in Cleveland at 24. And you want to know what kind of weather is moving in for later this evening? Just look toward Chicago and Milwaukee. It's 9 degrees in Milwaukee right now. It's 11 in Chicago, 13 in Bloomington. This is literally moving down and pushing into our area later this afternoon and evening. It's going to be a little bit warmer because we have the lake here, but it will be in the teens and lower 20s for today. So real quick for that Browns game forecast, let me go to the 7-day here for that. Here, bear with me just one moment. By the way, I have not seen a single comment yet that got the temperature right. What is the warmest ever Christmas recorded here in Cleveland? Because look at Christmas. You got a few more minutes before I talk more about Christmas, but what is the warmest ever Christmas here in Cleveland? I want to see what your thoughts are. But for the Browns game, 30 is the best I got for you. 30 is quite cold, but when you factor in the wind, it's actually going to feel like it's going to get down to the upper 20s and feel like upper teens and lower 20s. So layers, layers, layers. They will definitely be needed out there for tailgaters. Let's see. Michelle also commenting about her kittens sleeping under the blankets, which means it must be cold. I can confirm it is definitely a cold feel out there. Those heaters cranking into overdrive out there. As for like even the temperature change in the last 24 hours, what are we dealing with statewide? You can clearly see. Look at that. There's the last lingering bit of warmth getting pushed away from Northeast Ohio. And look at the difference. 22, 25 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Big temperature difference that's happening right now. So crazy stuff. Back to the flash freeze stuff again. Main reason why we've been up live streaming for the last couple of hours is the temperature continuing to drop below freezing. So where are we right now? We're at 9:04 on Friday morning. It is 20 degrees in Mansfield. It is 21 in Fremont. Sandusky's at 21, 23 in Elyria, 24 in Norwalk. Let me know in the comments what you're seeing where you are. I haven't seen a lot of comments. Maybe people don't have windows or they're kind of lazy, don't want to get up out of their couch, assuming they're kind of just staying at home today, taking it easy. But I just want to know what kind of icy conditions you're seeing. Maybe it's just wet roads, wet pavement. If you're seeing any snow accumulation, it's going to be different depending on where you are. And now we're seeing that cool down, making it all the way to New Philadelphia and Coshocton. You're now below freezing. In fact, everyone in Northeast Ohio is now officially at or below freezing. That's it. The flash freeze, the cold shot of air is here, and it's only getting colder throughout the rest of today. So that's what that looks like there. How does it feel like when you factor in these winds? 40, 42 miles an hour. What does it feel like? Hold on. Where is it? There it is. That's what it feels like right now. Frigid stuff. Very frigid. talking about multitasking. Yeah, I see a couple of comments here about multitasking. Let's see. Louise commenting. She's pretty much south of Lorraine and West 17th. She had to salt the icy driveway. Yeah, and it's cold and windy. Listen, you're going to see wherever there's no treatment, wherever you did not put the salt, it's going to be icing over. The water on the ground, which is a combination of the rain that fell from the sky and that snow melt, both of those combined have caused standing water that hasn't had enough time to evaporate yet. And as a result, that's why we're seeing that flash freeze. So that's what we're looking at right now as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. As for traffic incidents right now, I'm not seeing too much on the roads, which is phenomenal. People are definitely heeding the advice and staying home. So the volume is just less, which means there's a less of a chance of any sort of accidents happening. As for what it looks like, again, looks pretty clear. We got Gabby. I can see her working on the cameras right now. This is what Ashtabula looks like. A whole lot better, actually, right now, as that burst of snow has passed on by. Dropped a quick dusting on the grass. Road conditions are mostly just wet and not slick, which is great to see. But again, watch out. Just wherever you see that little icy bit, that's where things can get a little interesting out there. So there you go. That's what it looks like there. Anything else anyone wants to kind of find out? We kind of talked a little bit about the Browns. We talked a little bit about Christmas. The main focus this morning really being the flash freeze potential. Let me know if there's anything else you want to find out. Otherwise, I'm going to be wrapping it up in the next couple of minutes. So hopefully I won't need that change in batteries, as I see one of our directors here kind of asking in the distance. So as long as you can still hear me now, my battery should be still good. Our batteries last about 3 hours, and I've been live almost 2 hours. So yeah, it's cold. That flash freeze, I think, is verifying off to the west. Let me know what you're seeing. Otherwise, the one thing that I do want to briefly mention real quick, let me go back to the 7-day forecast. Well, not even that. I'm going to show you the forecast into Christmas week. So most of the warmth is going to be stuck in the southern states for Christmas. Here in Northeast Ohio, we're literally right on the edge because it'll still be cold in New England. That is the leftovers from the cold that we're having now. We're right on the edge. So we're like on the boundary between the really, really big warmth and pretty decent cold. Let's see here real quick. We got a comment from Shanda. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Hopefully Shanda. But I think you're pretty much describing what everyone across Northeast Ohio is feeling right now. It's cold. It's cold for sure. But yeah, the record warmest Christmas here in Northeast Ohio. I'm going to give it another couple of seconds in case anyone wanted to put it in the comments and see if you're right. The all-time warmest Christmas. You ready for it? 66 degrees. Set back in 1982. Our forecast is 57. We're already within 10 degrees of a record high, and our forecast is 7 days from now. There's a chance we actually get close to 66 if this warmth decides to nudge just a little bit north, which is absolutely monumental. Like, that's wild. And real quick, for anyone who's still watching along, if you haven't followed me yet on social media, first off, what are you waiting for? And second off, you're going to get more of these updates throughout the winter from the Power of 5 team first here on social media. My goal is to update, make sure everyone's updated, prepared, safe all winter long. Today, not a worst case scenario. That's fantastic to see. We are just getting started with winter. It's not even technically astronomical winter yet. That starts in a couple of days. There's my Facebook. There's my Instagram and X. I want to make sure that you're following me along there. We're on the way to 3,000 followers on Facebook. You want to help me out with that goal. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're telling all your friends and family too. Make sure you're going on there. I know I'm pretty new here to Northeast Ohio, but I love everything about it. I've learned so much from this incredible team here at News 5, the best journalists, the best meteorologists. If there's any spots that you want me to visit that you think are worth visiting, having a little bit of fun at, let me know in the comments on my page. Send me a DM, Facebook, Instagram, X. I want to be out in the community as well once this weather does improve a little bit, because this morning definitely is a slow and go situation on the road. So if you aren't following me yet, There you go. Facebook, Instagram, X. Make sure you're doing that this morning. Shonda mentions, oh, I wish 66. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. You know that movie saying, so you're saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. We're still 7 days away from, oh, I just did it. We're 6 days away from Christmas. So there's still time for the forecast to change. But from what I've been seeing, my spidey senses tell me there's a chance for 60 degrees or more. The record is not safe, my friends, for Christmas Day. As much as we wanted a white Christmas, we're not going to get it this winter, this year. So we're going to have to wait till next year for that white Christmas. As much as I wanted to bring a white Christmas after a snowy start, we're not going to get that. Because once we get rid of this snow right now, we're going to introduce much warmer weather. It's going to be in the 30s above freezing on Monday, 40s on Tuesday, 40s on Wednesday. Let me show you that 7-day real quick before I head on out. Real quick here, bear with me as I scroll through the 300 graphics I have here because I prepared a lot just in case. Here's the 7-day. So today is the coldest in the 7-day, where 22 feels like single digits, down to 20 tonight, 44 tomorrow, by the way. It's going to feel decent. Do outdoor plans tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be nice. And then Sunday, much colder again. Feels like teens and 20s for the Browns game. Cold start Monday, but we rebound. Middle and upper 40s Tuesday, Wednesday. And there could be some showers on Christmas Day, but look at the temperature. This is my opening bid, by the way. I'm going a little conservative here, but there's a chance for 60 plus on Christmas Day, which is wild. There you go. So we go from 57 on Christmas Day to one last look at what it is right now. It is 24 here in downtown Cleveland, 20 in Mansfield, 27 in Coshocton. And with that wind, it feels like 5 in Mansfield, 6 in Ashland, 8 in Norwalk, just brutal cold. Once again, moving on in. And the biggest thing, make sure you are staying safe by just checking, planning a few extra minutes, making sure you de-ice that car, defrost it, and watch out for those icy spots, especially on the sidewalks. I know a lot of us want to walk the dogs this time of day. I'd recommend maybe waiting a little bit, letting that sunshine, at least south of Akron, help melt a little bit of that ice, making it a little easier, helping the salt does a little bit of its job as well. 9:13 here on a Friday morning. I'm going to wrap things up here, but thank you so much for watching. This will be available as well as a replay if you wanted to find out more. And if you haven't followed me on Facebook, if you have any questions at any point, make sure to just comment on one of my posts. I'll be sure to reply. And we're on the way to 3,000 likes on there. On Instagram, I just opened a new account, so it's pretty fresh there. Make sure you're following along for other cool content, some really cool photos. I like to dab a little bit in photography as well. So make sure to check it out there. For now, I'm going to sign off here. I will see you live at noon on News 5 and on the app. Hopefully everyone stays safe and, more importantly, stays warm out there today. Whew, it's a cold one out there, folks. Stay warm and have a fantastic weekend. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. And eventually, Merry Christmas as well. All right. Take care, everyone.